Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest fascinating research into bite-sized conversations.
Today we're diving into a paper that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's about using a powerful trio of artificial intelligence techniques to find a new way to fight melanoma, a serious form of skin cancer.
Right, and the strategy they found is pretty cool. The paper calls it a hit-and-run therapy. It's not about a long, drawn-out battle, but a quick, precise strike that lets the system fix itself.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. There's a really promising type of cancer treatment called immunotherapy. The basic idea is to take the brakes off your own immune system so it can go and attack the cancer cells. For many melanoma patients, this works wonders.
But there's a catch. For a huge chunk of patients, up to 70%, their tumors have what's called innate resistance. From the very beginning, the treatment just doesn't work. And for a long time, scientists haven't fully understood why. It's like the cancer cells come pre-wired to resist the attack.
This paper wanted to figure out that wiring. To do that, they didn't start in a wet lab with pipettes and petri dishes. They started with data. They took genetic data from real melanoma patients, a group that responded to therapy and a group that didn't.
And with this data, they built a digital model of the cancer cells. This is the first piece of the AI puzzle. They used something called a probabilistic Boolean network, or PBN.
That sounds complicated.
It sounds it, but the concept is pretty intuitive. Imagine the genes in a cell are all just light switches. They can be on or off. A Boolean network is basically the circuit diagram for all those switches, showing how flipping one switch can cause others to flip.
So it's a map of how genes talk to each other. And the probabilistic part?
That just adds a bit of real-world messiness. In biology, things aren't always 100% predictable. So sometimes flipping a switch has a 90% chance of turning on another and a 10% chance it won't. It makes the model much more realistic. They built two of these models, a responder network and a resistant network.
Okay, so they have a digital copy of a resistant cancer cell. Now what? This is where the second AI tool comes in, reinforcement learning.
This is the fun part. Reinforcement learning, or RL, is the same kind of AI that learns to play video games. You give the AI an environment, a goal, and a score. The AI then tries millions of different moves to figure out how to get the highest score.
So what was the game here?
The game board was the resistant cell model. The goal was to turn it into a healthy, therapy-sensitive cell. The moves the AI could make were to flip the state of any gene, turning it on or off. And if it succeeded, it got a big point bonus.
So the AI is essentially playing the role of a doctor, trying to find the best possible drug target to win against the cancer cell. And what did it discover?
It discovered an incredibly effective strategy. But the most interesting part was when the researchers added a twist. They said, okay, AI, what if you can't just hold a gene down forever? What if you can only intervene for a very short time? This is the hit-and-run idea.
Which is much more like how a real-world drug might work. You take a dose, it's active for a while, and then it's gone.
Exactly. The AI tested this out and found a blockbuster strategy. A short, temporary shutdown of a single gene called LOXL2 was the most effective treatment. Specifically, turning off LOXL2 for exactly 4 time steps in the simulation and then doing nothing had a success rate of over 93%.
Wow. So not 5 steps, not 3 steps, 4 steps. That's incredibly specific. It's a precisely timed tap, not a sustained push. But why did that work? How can such a short intervention have such a lasting effect?
That brings us to the third part of the AI trio, explainable AI, or XAI. This is a tool that lets you look inside the AI's brain and ask it why it made the decisions it did. It's like asking the star video game player to talk you through their winning strategy move by move.
So what did the AI's replay show?
It showed that the resistant cell is in what scientists call a deep attractor state. You can think of it like a marble in a deep canyon. No matter how much you shake the landscape, the marble always rolls back into that one deep spot. The cell is stuck being resistant.
In the hit-and-run therapy?
The 4-step hit on the LOXL2 gene was just enough to demolish the walls of that canyon. It didn't push the marble all the way to a new healthy spot. It just broke the trap the marble was in. Once the trap was broken, the cell's own natural dynamics were enough for it to roll into a healthy state all by itself.
That's amazing. It's not about forcing the cell to be healthy, it's about freeing it to become healthy on its own. The run part of the hit and run is the cell itself running towards a better state.
Precisely. The XAI showed that this short intervention effectively erased the molecular memory of resistance. The AI didn't just find a target, it found the perfect dose and timing to make the therapy work.
So what's the big takeaway here? Is this a new cure for melanoma?
Not yet. This is all in silico, which means it was done in a computer simulation. The next crucial steps are to test this hypothesis in real human cells in a lab, and then eventually in clinical trials. It's a long road.
But the real breakthrough is the method itself. This PBN-RL-XAI framework is a powerful new way to think about developing drugs. It suggests that the future of some therapies might not be about finding a drug you take every day, but about finding a drug you take for a very specific, short period to reset the whole system.
It's a whole new playbook. Instead of a sledgehammer, it's a key cut to the perfect shape used for a precise amount of time to unlock a cell from its disease state. A powerful example of how AI can help us find non-obvious solutions to very complex biological problems.